Hey, what up everybody? How you guys all doing? So today we're messing with the Grom again. We've gone ahead and installed our Yoshimura exhaust. I did a video on that previously. We've also got the Dynojet Powervision 3 installed on this thing with the off-the-shelf Yoshimura exhaust. The cool thing about this Yoshi exhaust, it comes with an O2 bung, so that way we can plug in an O2 sensor. Well, just so happens that Dynojet makes a wideband controller module, and what this will do is it'll allow me to data log and record what the bike's doing, and then it'll allow me to go back and dial in the tune, so you know, in the perfect little spots, and make sure that the AFR is correct, because we want to get every little bit of power out of this dang thing, especially since we've installed that exhaust on there, and we want to make sure it's running like a top. So what we're gonna do is get this stuff put on there, and we'll take this thing outside and do a data log with it. So this wideband kit, basically you've got your O2 sensor here, and then this will plug into this cord here. These all plug into the little box itself, which this will have color-coded, there you go, right there, little color-coded inserts. And then once you put those in there, you've got this. And what this will do is this will plug into this box, this will plug into the bike, and then this end will plug into your Powervision 3. And in the end, everything's gonna be recorded onto the Powervision 3. What this will do is it'll allow you to do a data log. You'll be able to drive your Grom, and it'll record everything the engine's doing, as well as the air to fuel ratio. And that'll allow you to do all the tuning requirements, or I'm sorry, all the tuning adjustments you need to make this thing run perfectly. All right, so we have hooked up our secondary harness here. We've gone ahead and plugged in all of our wires. We've plugged the plug into the wideband controller. We ran our cords right up through the front, and it's just hanging down here. Now what we're gonna do is take out this bung. Once we get this bung out, we'll take this O2 sensor and plug it in. Just snug it down. We'll connect this cable, and then we'll be good to data log from there. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna configure this screen and get all the gauges that I want pulled up. Make sure that it's also reading the AFR gauge. So right now we got the air to fuel ratio, we got the engine oil temperature, and injector duty cycle. Let's get this thing taken outside and let's take it for a spin. All right. So we're gonna do one little quick rip with this thing, and then we're gonna bring it back and take it off. Or we might just leave it on there and just ride over there. Okay, so let's get my freaking shorts in order here. Don't want to lose the wallet. I'm trying to hold the bike up here, kind of on a downward slope. I just felt a raindrop. I felt a couple raindrops. I hope it doesn't start dumping on me while I'm out here. This thing is like reading all slow now. It's not reading fast like it was before. I don't know why it's doing that. In the end, who cares? As long as it data logs correctly, I don't give a shit. Almost fucking took out that curb right there. Oh yeah, that's fun. Give me some of that rain. Yeah, give me that rain, all that rain. Not exactly what I wanted to happen, but this thing's just sitting right at like 14. I don't know how good that did, but oh dude, you guys freaking see that? I'm not gonna lie, this thing is running really good. All right, so since this tune file doesn't actually give us a target AFR to reference, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to make up our own target AFR. So basically what we're gonna do is all of the throttle ranges between 1 and 20%, we're gonna target 14.7. All the throttle ranges between 24 and 29, we're gonna target 14 flat. Everything between 34 and 40, we'll be targeting 13.3. And everything 49% and above will be targeting 12.8. And so basically that's going to correlate with your throttle position sensor, which is that top scale right here, just this bar. And basically what that reference is your throttle position. When you twist the grip, that percentage goes up. And then here on the left, you actually have your RPMs. And then what we end up using is we use our data log graph right here. And, you know, we can come in here and click on different parts of it. It'll say right here we were at 13.1. And over here we were at 1.79 engine RPM. So it's almost 1,800 RPMs. And when you click on this, it'll actually highlight it inside the tune file. So this is the cell that it's utilizing to make that fuel correction. And all we're going to do is just go in here and massage all these cells until the bike runs exactly how we want it. So let me make these changes and we'll get back to it. All right, I'm going to try and show you guys this. So basically right here, we have a cell. We're almost at 1,500 RPMs, okay? And if you look over on the tune, this is the cell that we're changing. If you see this blue line, you want this box to be as centered on this cell as possible. And we could change a whole bunch of cells at once and utilize, you know, this box as a reference to make our change. But I like to do just one cell at a time. I ain't got nothing but time on this stuff, so as time goes on, I'll just make sure that I fine tune and finesse this thing so that way it runs like a top. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here and we're gonna check our air to fuel ratio, which is 15.07. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a math equation. We're gonna take what we got, which is 15.07, and we're going to divide it by 14.7, which is what we're going to target. Now we got this decimal number. We're going to take this decimal number, we're going to right click, we're going to copy this, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to paste that number right in this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to select this box. Now when we select this box, we have a couple different factors here. We can actually multiply this cell by this decimal, which is the percentage that we were off when we did our math equation. So now you take that cell, and what we're gonna be doing here is adding 1.02% of fuel to bring that 15 AFR down to 14.7. So we'll go in here and go bloop, and make that little adjustment. And then we'll just move along down the line here until we get highlighted onto another cell. So that one says 14.52. So what it's doing here is it's actually blending. So it's blending cells. It's taking a little bit of info from this cell, a little bit from this cell, a little bit from this cell, and it's using this one predominantly. So we're going to use this 14.5 to make a super small adjustment in fueling, just to get that blending nice and smooth. And what we'll do is we'll go 14.52, which is what you got, divided by what you want, 14.7. Okay, now we got our decimal. So if you look, we're going negative. So this is actually going to subtract 1.3% of fuel, something like that. And basically this will make the adjustment. Select all, copy, go in here, paste this, select this cell, multiply it, and now you have your adjustment. So now those two cells are going to work just a little bit differently. And we can go through this whole entire thing and make all these little adjustments. So that's what I'm going to do. I got 6 logs to do, and I'll show you what the graph looks like when we're done. All right, so we went ahead and made a revision. I'm just going to adjust the main. They didn't have like a cold table. They have a fast idle valve table, but that really doesn't help us. We're going to flash this with this new one just to see if we're getting the actual the math equation correct, because I just need to make sure that the table that I'm adjusting is actually that I'm doing all the math right. Because if I'm not doing the math right, then I'm just wasting my damn time. All right, flash complete. Beforehand, we were idling at like 16.5 until it warmed up. I'm sure there's something else that takes place when it warms up that's making it go to 14. So we're just gonna see what it does. Sounds a lot more mellow. So that might be a little too much. So now we'll take this thing upstairs, plug it into the computer, we'll do a couple more changes, see if we can get it closer. That thing was stupid close compared to what it was before. You remember before, well, maybe you don't remember, but I do. When I would blip the throttle like that, it would kind of boo, boo, and it would kind of stall on itself. Now it's super responsive. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. All right, I just fired up. This is the second revision. We're getting closer. All right, so let's go up there, make another little adjustment, and I think we'll be pretty close. All right, so I went back to flash 2. I think we're gonna use this one for right now, and then we're gonna do a little bit more tuning tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day. Basically what we're gonna do, we went back to the revision 2 tune, and I think the reason for that is because I wanna make sure this thing's up to operating temperature before we make any sort of further adjustments. So it's the next day. I'm gonna get this thing up to operating temp, and then we're gonna buzz it up and down the road, do a couple data logs, and see what we come up with. All right, so I think we got the idle pretty much perfect. You can see it just sitting there on 14.7. It blips a little bit, but I don't think there's any way of really getting rid of that. So now what we're gonna do, I accidentally had the battery die on me on the helmet, so you guys weren't able to see the data logs, but we just did a couple. We did some of them at like 25% throttle, some of them at 50%, and those are gonna be basically my key marks that make me remember what AFR I'm targeting. And then the wide open throttle stuff, I'm gonna get that all dialed in too. So stay tuned, make some updates, and then we'll come out and flash this thing. Give you guys a little thing is super responsive. Like, y'all, I've been looking all over for the freaking video, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't find the final video for where I went out and I drove this thing and show you guys how awesome it runs. So sorry, but I don't know where the heck it's at. And so we're just gonna end this video here. I got another vlog video that I did. I actually got like 4 or 5 of them, and I just got to get to finishing editing them, and you guys will be able to see how awesome this little bike runs. So it's running like a top now. We got an intake coming in for it here soon. That should be here today, and then we'll be able to do a lot more revisions, get it dialed in even more, make it a little bit faster. But all in all, super pleased with how it worked. I know this is like super kind of like sciencey, you know, for a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys might not be interested in doing something like this. But if you followed along, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up for me. It really helps me out. And if you guys have any questions, you want to do this sort of stuff yourself, need a little bit of insight, a little bit of help, holler at me. I'll help you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the support. We'll see you guys next time.